Hello, my amazing tribe. I'm excited to connect with you through this video. We're thrilled to present to you our video dedicated to Lech Bądkowski. Enjoy. Lech Bądkowski, 24 January 1920 in Toruń, Poland. 24 February 1984 in Gdańsk, was a Polish writer, journalist, publicist and Kashubian-Pomeranian activist, a promoter of regional history and culture, co-founder and leader of the Kashubian-Pomeranian Association, and opponent of the communist rules in post-war Poland. As we progress, let's zoom in on early life and examine its role in shaping our overall narrative. Lech Bądkowski was born on 24 January 1920 in Toruń, Poland as Leszek Michis or Zygmunt Bądkowski. He attended an elementary school there as well as an all-male high school. In 1938 he got admitted to a law faculty at the Józef Piłsudski University in Warsaw, but after 7 days into the academic year he had been drafted into the Polish army. During his service, he completed a junior officer course. When the Second World War broke out on 1 September 1939, he participated as a platoon commander in a battle of the Bzura River, which he later described in his book Soldiers from the Bzura River. In 1940, he managed to escape to France, where he joined the newly formed Polish army, and in a rank of an aspirant he fought in Norwegian and French campaigns, where he showed outstanding courage for what he was awarded in 1941 by General Władysław Sikorski, the Silver Cross of the Virtuti Militari War Medal, the highest Polish military honor. After the evacuation from France, he completed a sabotage and skydiving course in Scotland, but had never been dropped off behind enemy lines in occupied Poland. He was discharged from the army as a second lieutenant. While stationed in England, he learned English, continued his general education, as well as participated in the activities of the Pomeranian Union, which he created. In that time period he completed a booklet, The Pomeranian Political Thought, 1945. In the next phase, we'll be immersing ourselves in the realm of early career Stalin era and exploring its real-world applications. Early career Stalin era. He returned to Poland in 1946 and settled down in Guinea. His life goal then was to become a politician, but he soon abandoned this idea and took up journalism. He worked in the Baltic Daily and wrote numerous articles published in there. In 1947 he married Zofia Janiszewska. In 1953 their daughter Szwina was born. Around this time he changed his name from Bądkowski to Bądkowski. Bądkowski was a Germanized version of his family name during Poland's partitions period in 19th and the beginning of the 20th century, and finished commerce and political science studies in Sopot, and then also received a diploma for completing a political sciences studies from Lodz University Law Department. He moved to Gdańsk in 1951 and settled on Long Street, Duda. His first book, A Fishing Boat on Shore Kuta Nostradzi, was published in 1952. Since 1953 he was active in the Polish Writers' Union, but soon was relegated from it by the communist authorities that mistrusted his ideological positions, which could have been influenced by his war experience with the Western Allies in England. He ended up working in a puppet theatre miniature in Gdańsk as a literary director and later became a deputy editor of the weekly The Earth and the Sea. As we venture forward, let's take a closer look at after the October 1956 thaw and its impact on our understanding. In 1956 Lech Bądkowski co-founded the Kashubian Association, later the Kashubian-Pomeranian Association, and created its ideological manifesto. Since the beginning, he was a member of KPA leadership. He wrote an outline of the history of Kashubian literature 1958, prepared a deep analysis of the organization activities from the time of its creation and widened its recognition in the society, and later in 1964 changed its name. Between he was also chairman of the Gdańsk branch of Polish Writers' Union. In that time period, he wrote his most popular books, It's Joyful in Tropics and The Battle Is Going On, a collection of short stories. He translated the Kashubian novel The Life and Adventures of Remus by Aleksander Majkowski into Polish. In 1965 he was awarded a Cross of the Order of Poland's Restitution. He also wrote a lot for the daily The Voice of the Coast Glows Wybrzia and for well over a dozen magazines. Some of his texts were broadcast on the Polish radio Gdańsk. He wrote and published about one book each year, and some of them got reprinted. Starting in the mid-60s, his rejection of the communist rule and the censorship grew stronger and stronger, to such a level that in 1968 he openly protested with two other writers from the Pomerania region against Communist Party brutal clamping down on the student protest demanding more freedoms. The so-called March events have also caused massive purges of the Polish Jews from the various institutions as a manifestation of the infighting between different two factions within the Communist Party. Prepare yourself for an eye-opening discussion on the Edward Gierek period in the upcoming portion of this video. Starting from the early Lech Bądkowski's creativity slowed down. One of the reasons was the censorship inflicted by communist apparatus and other hardships. Another was his lifestyle addiction that led to health problems. That and also a variety of interests and pursuits in that period of his life also lead to losing his focus from writing. In those years, Bądkowski managed to edit and prefaced the two books of Agustin Nissel's Z Deszczu Podrin, When It Rains, It Pours, and Ruini, The Citizens of Rua, and the work of the Rev. Julius Pobocki in the Kashubia 100 years ago. His own literary work at the time was concentrating on the Vistula River Pomerania and its history. In mid-years he planned to write a 6-part cycle of novels on the beginnings of the Pomeranian state, but completed only 2 volumes, The Young Prince, Blodig Sires and Cloudschmry. For his creative work and the activity promoting Pomerania he was awarded the Stolen Medal 1978. Since 1979 he was a member of the Polish branch of the PEN Club. He wrote about 1,000 articles and over 30 books and pamphlets, some of which got reprinted. He became an object of interest of the security service SB, and his office and the apartment got bugged. He was tagged a code name and Inspire in the security service files. Towards the end of the years he joined in the underground activity of the Gdańsk conservative and liberal circles concentrated around the movement of Young Poland organization Ruch Młody Polski. In 1978 he published a political essay Kashubian-Pomeranian Paths Kaszubsko-Pomorskie Drogi, which was previously banned by censor, in an unofficial, underground publishing house. Towards the end of his life he was able to welcome the birth of his grandson Barnum Bądkowski, born b. 1979. His granddaughter Miosława was born after his passing. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of this as we examine its impact and relevance. In August 1980, Lech Bądkowski, as a representative of the area's literary circles, joined in the Gdańsk shipyard striking workers, and from 21 August became a member of the Inter-Enterprise Strike Committee and later its spokesman, and also a member of the group negotiating the Gdańsk agreements, responsible for formulating the articles related to freedom of speech. He created a discussion club of political thought named after the Constitution of 3 May. In 1980 he began editing an insert called Self-Governance Samosno to the Baltic daily Dziennik Bałtycki, a regional newspaper. On 1 August 1981 he was awarded by the president of the city of Gdańsk Jerzy Minacek a medal for popularization of the culture, arts and knowledge about Gdańsk. On 17 August Lech Wałęsa authorized him to create a weekly Samosno self-governance based on the aforementioned insert to the Baltic daily. Only 3 editions were published starting in November 1981, and then it got suspended during the martial law in Poland at the end of that year. Bądkowski remained its editor-in-chief until the end of 1982. During the martial law he published in the Bratniak and Własny underground magazines and worked on preparing the 4th edition of the Samosno Weekly, which didn't get distributed during the Solidarity era. In the process of doing it, he gathered around himself many young Solidarity activists. In 1982 he was awarded the Światłok, the Great Golden Seal, for his lifelong activities to benefit the cause of Pomerania region. Since the end of the years Lech Bądkowski had been ill with cancer and died from it on 24 February 1984 in his apartment on the Longst Duga in Gdańsk. He was buried at Srebreziska Cemetery in Gdańsk as ashes. 5,000 people attended his funeral, amongst them Zbigniew Herbert, Bronisław Jemek, Lech Wałęsa and Donald Tusk. The ceremony did transform into an anti-government manifestation. Later on, the grave was adorned with a sculpture of the Kashubian griffin with these words inscribed on it: Lech Bądkowski, writer, soldier, citizen. Prepare yourself for an in-depth analysis of legacy in this section. In 1987, Lech Bądkowski became a patron of the Literary Award of the Kashubian-Pomeranian Association. In 1988, the commemorative plaque was placed on the house located in Fish Market Street, Targ Rybnik, where his office was located. The inscription on it says, "In this house Lech Bądkowski lived and created between 1960 and 1984. He was a writer, a Kashubian-Pomeranian activist, a signatory of the Gdańsk Agreements in 1980. From May 1991, Bądkowski became a patron of the elementary school in Luzino. Around this time, one of the streets was named after him in the Siedlce neighborhood of Gdańsk and the middle school in Jacy near Gdańsk. In 2000, he received posthumously the honorary title of the Citizen of Gdańsk. A remembrance gathering took place to celebrate this occasion on 22 February, and on 7 March a special exhibition dedicated to Lech Bądkowski has opened in the Gallery Plama entitled Lech Bądkowski, a Human, Writer, Citizen. Several minor streets in Gdańsk, Rumia, Shu and Starogód Gdański were later named after him as well. On 3 May 2006, the President Lech Kaczyński awarded Bądkowski posthumously an Order of Poland's Restitution. Since 2006, the monthly Pomerania keeps publishing the memories of people who knew Bądkowski. A film that Inspirator was made about Bądkowski and was shown in Gdańsk, Gdynia and Luzino and on TV. In the last few years, in addition to many commemorative gatherings, several of his books got republished. 3 books and 3 master theses have been written about him. To commemorate the 25th anniversary of his death, the year 2009 was proclaimed the Lech Bądkowski year. On 18 February, the Senate of the Republic of Poland officially commemorated the anniversary of his death. On the same day, the Prime Minister of Poland at the time, Donald Tusk, and the Marshal of the Senate Bogdan Borusewicz opened an exhibition entitled Authorities, Lech Bądkowski, staged by the European Solidarity Centre ESC, which also published a pamphlet containing a comprehensive biographical essay. Also in February, the correspondence between Bądkowski and his longtime friend Maciej Masiski has been republished. Bądkowski is also patron of a carillon in the main City Hall building in Gdańsk. Remember to follow me on social media for behind-the-scenes content and updates.